Sagicor, building trust for generations.
Celebrating 55 years.
The time by Sagicor is
7 o'clock. CVM News at 7 headlines Thursday. Brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure. Live easy.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, fixed election dates, fight heats up at the PSOJ Town Hall. PNP blasts JLP's management of education sector. Supreme Court rejects Holness's request. A year of freedom, Kartel's return, his crown and the cultural conversation. St. Mary police capture 7 people in 7 days for lottery scamming. And in sports, West Indies look to exorcise the demons of their recent Australia series.
News at 7 headlines Thursday. Brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure. Live easy.
Hey everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
Odyssey with Yendi, brought to you by Grace, singer and Island Net Service.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Thursday, July 31, 2025. Thanks so much for having joined us. I'm Nika Lewis. The call for fixed election dates is back in the national spotlight after a heated exchange at the private sector organization of Jamaica's town hall yesterday. Constitutional law expert Dr. Lloyd Barnett and Legal and Constitutional Affairs Minister Marlene Malahoo Forte clashed over why the recommendation promised nearly a decade ago is still missing from the Republic Bill. Raymond Morrison has that story.
For years, Jamaica has debated fixing the date for general elections, a move supported by both the private sector, the opposition, and one the GLP promised in the lead-up to the 2016 general election. But that debate exploded yesterday as two heavyweights, constitutional lawyer Dr. Lloyd Barnett and Legal Affairs Minister Marlene Malahoo Forte, faced off during the PSOJ virtual town hall.
We have examples where there is agreement on what is to be done. And then the quarrel breaks out on how it is to be done. And we lose focus that there is in fact agreement on the what. Huh? So I'll just say that I keep before us.
And do not, spoil the discussion on this issue. The
discussion is being spoiled, Dr. Barnett?
A precise question to discuss.
I didn't realize that the debate was being spoiled. We're talking about what needs to be done.
Barnett was referencing the Constitutional Reform Committee's report, which recommended fixing Parliament's term 5 years and limiting the Prime Minister's power to call elections.
That in order for the constitutional provision on the life of the Parliament to be changed, it requires the cooperation of both sides. I think you began there. And it will ultimately require the approval of the people. Now, that is not the only way to get it done.
In order to arrive at that point, it requires a clear, genuine expression of opinion on the matter. If there is a view that the proposal made by the Constitutional Reform Committee is wrong, then that should be stated.
But when the minister revealed that there was no consensus between the government and opposition, Barnett pushed back, saying he was never informed of any disagreement.
We can talk, but we have to go beyond the talk and we have to look at the action that is required. Because even when we talk and we say we agree, obstacles may come in the way. I don't believe that is spoiling this conversation. If we're not prepared to speak with candor, we may be stuck as we have been stuck many times.
And clarity.
Yes, Dr. Barnett, the cabinet of which I'm a part accepted the recommendations of the CRC. I don't know if I can put it any clearer than that.
So that we go forward
and as a point of, then Dr. Barnett, that is what we are doing.
It should be in the bill because there is no expressed opposition to it, and there is no indication that there's public resistance to it.
Well, so I can tell you of a fact. I can tell you of a fact that I know there was no consensus on this point.
PSOJ President Siago questioned why, if everyone agrees, the change is yet to be made.
All three speakers and the committee that was set up all seem to say, listen, this is needed, let's do it. But none of us have done it yet. And I just wonder if there's anything out there that I'm missing. Because I'm sure there's a side that says, listen, this is not good because of X, Y, Z. I just haven't heard it.
Opposition Senator Donna Scott Motley argued that previous polls suggested that Jamaicans are heavily in favor for a fixed election date.
Don Anderson went to the people and asked them how they felt about fixed election dates. 81.1% of the persons polled said they wanted fixed election dates in general elections. A slightly lower number, 80.9%, said that they wish to have fixed election dates in local government elections. So the people actually are expressing a strong desire for certainty in the things that they do.
The debate comes as Jamaica prepares for general elections widely expected by September. The Prime Minister had promised fixed election dates in 2016, a pledge now under scrutiny. With more than 80% of Jamaicans supporting fixed election dates, the pressure is mounting. But whether that translates into legislative action before the next election remains to be seen. Raymond, Morrison, CVM News.
The heat is on as opposition spokesman on education Damion Crawford put his political opponents on blast regarding their management of the education sector. This as he addressed supporters at the party's St. Catherine meeting last evening. Kevin Black reports.
No them run garden house, away I run the ground.
Shots have been fired figuratively as the People's National Party (PNP) questioned the effectiveness of the Jamaica Labour Party's education-centered efforts. Continuing their island-wide tour, this time in St. Catherine, the opposition spokesman on education, Senator Damion Crawford, addressed the matter as he assured supporters he's the ideal pick to lead the country's education sector.
None of you. When there was COVID, I am the only politician who take up myself on the internet and teach mathematics for free to the children. Show me phone video. Ask East Rural St. Andrew who went to UA and teach maths to every single child that was willing, whether Labourite, Jehovah's Witness, or PMP.
Senator Crawford insists his detractors are unqualified to speak on his past educational achievements.
In 4 years, we moved GSAT performance in maths from 49% to 57%. Don't forget that your last Minister of Education is being researched under the Criminal Act for stealing the children money.
Crawford notes the perceived inequality in the education sector is a blight on the part of the current administration.
Their intention is to keep this thing at the point where me bright. Say in 2015, the mastery of literacy under the PNP was 84%. And in 2024, the mastery was 65%.
The educator is urging the Jamaican electorate to vote out the current JLP administration, thereby allowing him to serve Jamaica's education sector as minister. Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Meanwhile, the government's rural school bus system launches in September. Transport Minister Vybz says only upgraded buses will be used and taxi operators stand to earn more as more commuters who will be paying full fare. Carla Ramdeen has this report.
The days of school children competing with the adults for seats, the days of students being told no schoolers or being subjected to harassment and abuse must come to an end.
For this reason, Minister of Transport Vybz says the bus system will be ready for full implementation at the start of September. Vybz says the government is committed to creating a transport system that is inclusive, efficient, and economically empowering to all stakeholders. The minister explains that out of the 52 buses that are physically in the country, 23 have already been retrofitted. One major change is that the doors have been moved from the right side to the left. Vybz adds that no buses will be placed on the roads without it being retrofitted.
This government and this minister is not bringing any school bus to Jamaica that is not fit for purpose. For September, all 60 buses will be retrofitted from one side to the other. And then there'll be a schedule now on the other 50 buses that will take you from September into the end of the school year. But as I said before, and I want to reiterate it, it's not a matter that 60 September and then 40 is January or 50 is January. They will be integrated into the school system as they are retrofitted and prepared to go on the road. So you will see the increase from 60 gradually starting from probably the end of September into October into November.
He says starting this Monday, August 4, the Jamaican Urban Transit Company, JUTC Depot, will begin checks on all routes, accompanied by suppliers and the ministry. He notes that the bus system will not only benefit students but taxi operators who stand to earn more as there will be more adult passengers paying full fares.
I can say that I have gone out there myself and I have driven behind the buses. I did it last week Friday in Manchester, and I did over 23 communities. So I spent my entire time in the interiors, and I watched those buses maneuver, both the 32-seater and the 54-seater. And they, as was expected, performed amazingly.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
More CVM News at 7 in a moment.
This iconic Jamaican has graced many a stage. From Broadway to TV to film, it's safe to say her star shines very bright. She is
the Honorable Dr. Cheryl Lee Ralph, Order of Jamaica. I love that so much. Yes.
What she said.
I was literally moved to tears, very much like when I got the call that I had been nominated for my first Emmy.
Yeah.
And then it was as if the spirit of my mother was rising up, because my mother always said, my children are to go further than I did. Don't you ever give up on yourself. Because if I'd given up on myself, I wouldn't be here. But here I am, Medea.
Odyssey with Yendi, brought to you by Grace, Singer, and IslandNet Services.
We are bucket together when everybody out. Fried chicken with we a pre-bucket for the crew, share a bucket together, everybody go live. Spicy original when we online.
Bucket together to the new dance craze. Taste explosion bursting with flames.
When we a bucket together, it put you in a good mood. Every moment you share is finger licking good. Bucket together, come make we bucket together. Hey, bucket together, bucket together.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Fresh concerns are emerging this evening over the adequacy of mental health support for men in Jamaica. This following the death of a businessman in St. Andrew today who is suspected of committing suicide. Amoy Harriet reports.
It's been just a few hours since the body of a businessman was found in a car here at the Merivale apartment complex in St. Andrew. The compound is relatively quiet, but the vehicles in the parking lot suggest there are people home. But since being here, we've seen no one inside. The details surrounding the incident are still being investigated, but the police suspect the man committed suicide. Preliminary reports are that he hadn't been seen or heard from for some time. Checks were made and his body found. Now, while we await the details of the police's investigation, the incident has led to growing concerns about the mental health battles many Jamaican men are facing.
In 2024, Jamaica recorded 67 suicides. 61 of those were men. In 2023, there were 66 reported cases of suicide. Again, men accounted for about 90% of the tragedies. Verol Billet is a licensed associate clinical psychologist. Though Jamaica's suicide rate remains relatively low compared to the global average, he says the statistics are alarming.
Men tend to want to solve the problem. An issue arises and they want to see how can I alleviate, how can I move past this, how can I solve the problem and move on with life. And the reality is life doesn't always present us with solutions. And so it becomes a situation where if you don't have outlets where you can share healthily, then in some way, shape or form, it's going to be released. So I tend to liken persons in general who keep everything on the inside as walking volcanoes. At some point, you're going to explode or implode. And unfortunately, because of the pressure and the burden of keeping everything on the inside for us as men, I think it increases the chances of completing suicide.
Now, according to the U.S. National Library of Medicine, in countries around the world, women are more likely to be diagnosed with depression and
We apologize for the absence there of the audio. Meanwhile, 1 year ago, Vybz Kartel walked free, a moment that reignited debate about his legacy and dancehall's future. From a new album to a summer tour to his coronation as King of Dancehall. But what does his comeback really mean for the music, for Jamaica's image and for his legacy? Raymond Morrison tells us more.
July 31, 2024, dancehall superstar Vybz Kartel exited a prison cell and walked into the center of the cultural conversation. And the Jamaican collective, specifically his fan base dubbed as the Gaza Nation, held its breath. Attention turned into acclaim as he hit full stride. His New Year's Eve Freedom Street concert in Kingston delivered fireworks. Literally, as the clock struck midnight, he launched into Thank You Jah, marking his return with a spectacle fit for a dancehall icon. And the tough times behind bars didn't silence his voice. His summer tour began with back-to-back sold-out shows at Brooklyn's Barclays Center, followed by a stop in Miami's Amarant Bank Arena in front of a packed crowd. His comeback wasn't just about the music. His rum brand straight vibes, his slang, his fan culture, it all gained new life. Slogans like Gaza, World Boss, and Love God New Gaza echoed across social media and the Irie life worldwide. And now, new slangs like Sidem na Sidem, a play on his wife's name Sidem Öztürk. Beyond music, Vybz Kartel celebrated his new freedom with purpose of a home and luxury car, while publicly focusing on his health, addressing Graves' disease and heart issues developed while in prison. Vybz Kartel has also spoke about mentoring young artists and supporting his son's music career, signaling a desire to influence more than just the charts. Cultural geographer Dr. Agustina Pinnock concurs with the possibility of the initiative and what it means for the future of dancehall culture.
What it says is that there is a kind of a leader. The leader has returned, and Sumfest just recently crowned him as king. There's a sense in which Kartel can lead us into the future. People have argued, for example, my colleague and friend, Dr. Dennis Howard, who talks about the death of dancehall. And so his argument is that dancehall is dead and that we're now in a different era of Jamaican popular music. There are people who disagree with that.
His one-year anniversary ended with the World Boss Summer Tour and a career peak moment, being crowned King of Dancehall at Reggae Sumfest 2025, a symbolic handover from the industry itself.
As a nation, we are here to crown the legend Adidja Azim Palmer. All hail the king of dancehall, Vybz Kartel!
But his comeback has also sparked debate. Some celebrate him as a lyrical giant and cultural icon, while others question how an artist convicted of murder could be embraced. 1 year on, Vybz Kartel's story is still being written. A story that, for fans and critics alike, forces hard look at music, culture, and the power of redemption. Raymond, Morrison, CVM News.
7 people have been arrested in less than 1 week for possession of identity information in St. Mary. Lottery scammers in the parish directly related to organized crime have had their operations disrupted as their networks continue to be investigated. Crystal Williams has this update.
Arrests in less than 7 days have been made so far during a series of coordinated intelligence-led operations aimed at disrupting criminal networks involved in cyber-enabled fraud and other related offenses in and around St. Mary. But why has St. Mary been the target for these criminals? Superintendent Anthony Wallace, commander of the St. Mary Police Division, has suspected criminals may not see St. Mary as a threat when it comes to organized intelligence-based crimes.
Criminals sometimes will see St. Mary as a safe haven, so they will migrate from other parishes and run into St. Mary. But what we have done over time is we have improved our intelligence and our investigative capabilities, also our operational capabilities. Our operatives have been specially trained by Specialized Operations Tactical Academy, and so we have increased our skill set, competence, and capabilities.
As the St. Mary Police Division persists in aims to serve and protect their parish and the wider Jamaica, they continue to focus on those endangering their communities. Their investigations have discovered that criminals associates from other parishes might be of assistance in these scams.
Some of them are in St. Mary, and some of them have migrated from other parish. And of course, they have their associates.
Superintendent Wallace has commended the dedication and vigilance of the collaborating operational teams in the fight against these transactional organized crimes.
So we continue to work closely with the residents. We continue to provide the necessary information so that they can be in the know. So it's a multifaceted approach. Our community safety and security branch team, they have been in the community working very closely with the residents. The Lots Scamming Task Force unit has been assisting us greatly too in passing on the necessary information to the residents so they can be armed with the necessary information to protect themselves.
He says the Financial Investigation Branch has also been instrumental in the restoration of the most vulnerable members of St. Mary communities affected by these scams. According to Superintendent Wallace, the St. Mary Division will not allow criminal elements to exploit communities through identity theft and financial deception. He also says they will continue to pursue offenders with the full force of the law while working to strengthen community partnerships and public trust.
We are of the opinion that some of these organizations are transnational organizations. We are getting the support from major partners, the Specialized Operation, National Intelligence Bureau, also CTOC. So we think we're making strides in this regard, and it's a work in progress.
The St. Mary Police Division and the JCF continue to urge citizens to remain vigilant and to report suspicious activities to the nearest police station. Crystal Williams, CVM News.
The Supreme Court has dismissed an application by Prime Minister Andrew Holness to remove portions of an affidavit submitted by a senior official of the Integrity Commission in a lawsuit he filed against the anti-corruption body. Holness had sought to strike out specific paragraphs of the affidavit, arguing that the content was inappropriate and should not form part of the court's consideration. However, the judge determined that there was no legal justification for removing any of the contested sections and declined to grant the application. Following the decision, the Prime Minister requested permission to appeal. The court granted the request and ordered that the proceedings be stayed until the appeal is heard and determined. The lawsuit is part of an ongoing legal battle between the Prime Minister and the Integrity Commission, which has been investigating matters involving public officials. The case now moves to the appellate court, where the challenge to the affidavit's contents will be reviewed. We take a break. More in just a moment.
To the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
This iconic Jamaican has graced many a stage. From Broadway to TV to film, it's safe to say her star shines very bright. She is
the Honorable Dr. Cheryl Lee Ralph, Order of Jamaica. I love that so much. Yes.
What she said.
I was literally moved to tears, very much like when I got the call that I had been nominated for my first Emmy.
Yeah.
And then it was as if the spirit of my mother was rising up, because my mother always said, my children are to go further than I did. Don't you ever give up on yourself. Because if I'd given up on myself, I wouldn't be here. But here I am, Medea.
Odyssey with Yendi. Brought to you by Grace, Singer, and Islandnet Services.
Truth is, HIV affects everyone. Truth is, avoiding care leads to a weaker immune system. That means you could get really sick. The truth is, the hardest pill to swallow isn't the medication. It's the problems that follow when you don't take them. Let's get through this together. Remain in care. You can live life to the fullest with HIV. And that's the truth. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Jamaica! Let's spread the word around to let the world know that we are proud to be one republic. We on the road to republic. Well then, let's propel we nation, moving forward in a new direction. True independence, that's the projection. No more dependency, it's the best plan. Yes, we know what's best for us, cause we want we country prosperous. So make we just pull together as the general public while on the road to republic. Let's spread the word around to let the world know that we are proud to be one republic. We on the road to republic.
A message from the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs.
We on the road to republic.
Time by KFC is
7:30.
Thanks so much for staying with us. The Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission, BGLC, is celebrating its 50th anniversary with a sharp focus on modernizing regulation in the sector. It comes as the Commission gears up for the 21st staging of the BGLC Emancipation Race Day on August 1. Raymond Morrison tells us more.
As the Commission celebrates half a century of operations, the focus is on creating a more streamlined and effective regulatory environment. Central to that vision is the planned merger of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission, BGLC, the Jamaica Racing Commission, JRC, and the Casino Gaming Commission, CGC, into a single regulator.
We have to deal with what we see as the challenges right now, first and foremost, and also hope that we will certainly be around for another 50 years. But we certainly want to be in a position where we do not over-regulate and that we also develop the ecosystem and the environment where the operators can operate and make money, because the only way the government makes more money is if the operators make more money, because we only depend on fees and taxes from them.
The Commission says its current partnership with JRC is already strong, with each body maintaining clearly defined roles. The JRC overseeing racing operations and the BGLC monitoring and sanctioning betting on and off the track.
Guarding the game and protecting the player, that is exactly how we feel that sums up how we see the Commission. We have a responsibility to actually ensure that the games are legitimate and they are proper legal game and they're properly supervised and monitored. And we also have, obviously, how we protect the player in a number of instances, not just in terms of how they go about doing the gambling and what chances that they take, but also in terms of looking at avoiding addiction and so on. So in terms of where we are, in terms of trying to achieve that, we have a licensing system that has a robust due diligence process attached to it.
And with growing concerns around children's access to gaming and the risks of addiction, the Commission says its role as a watchdog is more critical than ever. It says protecting minors and ensuring responsible gaming practices are key priorities, even as technology pushes the industry into new spaces.
Our approach to responsible gaming, the whole issue of children getting involved in gaming at an early age, we look at the whole issue of exclusion where persons have actually shown signs of being irresponsible in their gaming pattern and so on. So, I mean, we have a robust responsible gaming policy that we actually approach, we actually implement.
The BGLC has also been upgrading its licensing platform to better serve vendors and support the sector's growth.
Now licensees can actually, or potential licensees can actually register online so they don't have to come in, and then the licenses can be sent to them without them having to actually come into the office. So that is working very well. There are many other features that we want to get into, because we want to get into the whole area of connectivity, that we can actually maybe reduce the function of our compliance officers that's going out there to actually collect all kinds of data.
Meanwhile, excitement is building for the 21st BGLC Emancipation Race Day, featuring a highly anticipated clash between multiple winner Mahogany and the defending champion Wall Street Trader in the $2 million feature race. Raymond Morrison, CVM News.
Ronaldo Adams joins us now for a quick look ahead to sports.
Good evening, Nika, and good evening, viewers. So, as we're all aware, the West Indies recently got whitewashed by Australia in a T20 series. Tonight, we're kicking off another T20 series. It will be against Pakistan, and it's currently underway in Florida. So hopefully, they will see some more positive results. But of course, today is Thursday, and we'll also have our on-court feature and lots more to come in sports.
Of course. We take a break. Do stay with us.
It's Mellow to the Max. Mellow 2025 will be at Independence Village, National Stadium Complex on Monday, August 4, 8 p.m. If you can't be there to experience the excitement, worry not. Join us for a live broadcast right here on CVM TV. Come, savor rip-roaring family entertainment, a dramatic blend of spicy traditional folk forms and hot, sizzling contemporary Jamaican dance, dub, and music. Tell your auntie, your grandpa, your niece and nephew. Tell the entire family to tune in to Mellow 2025, coming to you live right here on CVM TV from Independence Village, National Stadium Complex, Monday, August 4, 8 p.m. Mellow to the Max.
Join us next week when we conclude our discussion on the growth of Chocolate Dreams and how it has benefited from various initiatives undertaken by the Tourism Enhancement Fund, the TEF, through the Tourism Linkages Network.
Everybody out, fried chicken with a pre-bucket for the crew. Share a bucket together, everybody go live. Spicy original when we online. Bucket together to the new dance craze. Taste explosion bursting with flames. When we a bucket together, it put you in a good mood. Every moment you share is finger licking good. Bucket together, come make we bucket together. Hey, bucket together, bucket together.
It's Mellow to the Max. Mellow 2025 will be at Independence Village, National Stadium Complex on Monday, August 4, 8 p.m. If you can't be there to experience the excitement, worry not. Join us for a live broadcast right here on CVM TV. Come, savor rip-roaring family entertainment, a dramatic blend of spicy traditional folk forms and hot, sizzling contemporary Jamaican dance, dub, and music. Tell your auntie, your grandpa, your niece and nephew. Tell the entire family to tune in to Mellow 2025, coming to you live right here on CVM TV from Independence Village, National Stadium Complex, Monday, August 4, 8 p.m. Mellow to the Max.
This iconic Jamaican has graced many a stage. From Broadway to TV to film, it's safe to say